Last year's Amazon Transformers exclusive capsule of figures was based on the Wreckers and gave us a lot of cool figures in that capsule. But in my opinion, this year's capsule, the pre-war Cybertron capsule, is a lot more interesting because the first pack provides us a set of figures from what is one of my favorite Transformer stories to come out of IDW, and it's from Megatron Origin, Minor Megatron, and Senator Ratbat, the subject of today's deceptibot9 reviews. Let's get it! How's it going, everyone? deceptibot9 here, and thank you as always for joining me for another episode of deceptibot9 reviews. Now, before we get into the figures, I would like to ask, if you like what you see, go ahead, leave me a like. Plus, if you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and just hit that subscribe button, why don't you? It's about time you do. And, of course, if you want to find me anywhere else on the internet, all of my social links are in the description down below. So, without further ado, let's head down to the review station and check out Minor Megatron and Senator Ratbat. Alright, and here we are with Minor Megatron and Senator Ratbat up close. And I'm gonna say, these figures are absolutely beautiful. I love the sculpt work that is done on them. They very much replicate their appearance in the IDW comics. They also just have great paint jobs, and I think they're great retools of the original molds, which for the most part, I mean, the Siege Megatron mold is all right. It's been used a bunch of times. I never particularly hated it, but it's been used a lot now. But I think this really makes that mold shine. And the Scourge mold is all right. I've never been a particularly huge fan of it, but I've never been fully against it. I think it worked a lot better on Alpha Trion, and I think it works a lot better as Senator Ratbat as well. So with all that said, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the details of these two guys. Alright, we'll start here with Megatron, and we will start with this absolutely beautiful head sculpt. I think this head sculpt looks just absolutely terrific. I love the little red up here at the top. I love the caution lines on his forehead, brow, even just the rest of the head. It's so IDW, and it looks so much like it came right out of the comic. But I also just think that as a standalone Megatron head, it looks very, very good overall. I absolutely adore it. And taking a look down here, you can see on the shoulders, we've got a little bit of remolding happening with more of that caution tape sort of design there. The chest here remolded a little bit as well with these sort of extra spikes and the way it puffs up. Again, more of this yellow and black caution tape stuff. Down to the ab section here, it's remolded again. This whole sort of top section is all remolded pretty much, and it looks great with the little speck of red coming in there. The arms here, I believe, are pretty regular. They're not really remolded or anything. They're just painted or molded in a different color, and I think it's an absolutely beautiful choice, the sort of gunmetal-y silver type. Here the fists are same as the original Siege mold. They're molded in fists, obviously. Waist piece right here is, I believe, the same as well. And then down to the legs, it's all the same molding, but of course done in different colors. Plus we get, of course, the caution lines here on the knees. Feet are exactly the same as well, done in a lighter gray. And if we take a look to the back, we can see all of the extra stuff here on his back. Obviously his tank tread things, which do appear in a way in the original design for Minor Megatron as well, just shaped slightly differently than this, but these are the same as they were on Siege Megatron as well, and you can see all this molded detail here on the side. So overall, I think Megatron here, he looks absolutely fantastic. He's beautiful, and you'll notice there's no Decepticon symbols on him, obviously because this comes from a time in Cybertronian history where there was no Autobots or Decepticons yet, but I think he's just a tremendous looking figure. I think he's very, very beautiful overall. So let's go ahead and take a look at Ratbat. All right, here's Ratbat. We'll start up here with this head sculpt. This head sculpt blew me away. I think it is absolutely terrific. It looks so spot on to his appearance in the comics, but also it's just a very beautiful sculpt overall. I love the silver on the side vents and the face, of course the yellow bits of the eyes, the top remolded happening here, you know, like a little sort of teeth style coming down around his face. I just absolutely love it with a little bit of gold crest up there at the top. Moving down to the chest, this is all remolded from the original Scourge as well, but I love the black, purple, and the yellow with the blue here. overall, it's a really nice looking chest piece. And the shoulders here are remolded as well with a little bit of 5mm ports happening. They're in this sort of shiny, glossy black, so you can see a little bit of detail on them there. Here on the arms, these are, I believe, relatively the same. Nothing really changed much about these pieces, but they are obviously done in purple and black. And all of the legs are the same as the original Scourge mold as well, except we're done in black and purple here, but you can see all the sort of details around them there. And the wings also on the inside, you can see nice, beautiful detail. And around to the back, all of this wing stuff, the wing action that is happening here is original to the Scourge mold as well, just obviously now done in Ratbat colors. And they did change this piece here on the back to fit better with the aesthetic of Ratbat overall. And I do love, of course, this open sort of splayed out hand. I do wish they had done what they did on Alpha Trion and given both of the hands being the open splayed out hands rather than one of them being the fist. But what are you going to do? I think he's just absolutely beautiful anyway overall. So yeah, both of these figures, let's bring them both in here. Again, I think both of these figures are just absolutely beautiful, and they are big enhancements over their original molds overall. While we got both of them here, why don't we go ahead and talk? All right, so Megatron gets the bulk of the accessories here. Ratbat, as you can see, just comes with the standard gun that we get on every Scourge remold, but this time it's obviously done in the purple. Come on, focus, there we go. So you can see all the details and stuff there on the blaster, but yeah, it's just the same one that we usually get with the Scourge figures. And of course, on the front, it does have a tip for blast effects. If you wanted to put a blast effect on there, you certainly could do that. It's of course got pegs here for the handle, one here on the side, which will be used mostly in vehicle mode, but if you want to put them in the hand, you can absolutely do that. Otherwise, Senator Ratbat doesn't really need much more than that. Megatron's accessories, on the other hand, I think are really, really neat. So we get one of them here, this being his drill that he uses because, again, he's a miner, and this comes into play in his alt mode where he is a sort of drill tank. We'll see that here in a little bit, but yeah, I really like it. It is two pieces, obviously, the drill piece up here at the front and this piece, which I mean, you could use as a cannon if you wanted to, I guess. Nothing really stopping you there, but yeah, I think it looks really cool as a drill. And you can see he's got one peg here and one peg here, so if you wanted him to even hold it in his hand downward like that, you could, or if you wanted him to hold it up like that, you could, or of course, peg onto the side there. You can do that. And the other accessory, as you can see as well, is his pickaxe, and I absolutely love this. I think this looks really, really sweet. I love the way the molding happens here on the bottom, the wrap piece coming up to the top of the pickaxe. This pink sheen here is really, really nice. Lots of nice detail going on all over the axe. And again, he's got a little peg here for you to hold it down there, and a peg there as well. And he's also got it opened on the top. And the back of the box shows, of course, this is a Legacy Evolution figure, so you got to get your Evo Fusion in there. This is how it puts it on the box. Evo Fusion is you just get a big old, you know, something like this. I don't know exactly what to call this, but I mean, if you wanted to do that, you could. You could put it on his arm, something like that, like a big old crossbow, I guess. Or you could have him just hold it in his hand, and he's got a big something or other now. I don't really do a lot of the combining with the weapons, obviously, because I think it's a little on the ridiculous side, but it's there for fun and it's there for playability. If you want to do that, you certainly can. And the thing I love about this axe too is it gives me some hope for us to get a new Straxus figure, because I think it looks a lot like Straxus's pickaxe. So hopefully that's coming in the works soon. But yeah, so that's all for the accessories for these two. So let's go ahead and cover articulation. We'll start with Megatron. Alright, articulation on Megatron, fairly standard for the Siege Megatron mode, but if you don't know what it is, here we're going to cover it. You got a ball joint here on the head, which does let it go all the way around. It can get a little bit tight there, and it is more so towards the back, so you can't really get a lot of up and down with it, but you can get it going up that far, down that far, and even farther if you want to push it into his chest. His arms do go all the way around. Arms go out that far. They swivel here at the elbow. Elbows bend to just right at about 90. Nothing on the wrists besides hinging inward due to transformation. Waist swivel here goes all the way around as well. Legs go forward that far. Legs go backward that far. Legs do also go out all the way into a full split. 10 out of 10 for Megatron on the full split. And at least on my copy, as you saw as he was kind of sliding around, they're a little bit loose for my liking up here, but it's not that big a deal. You can always try to tighten those up. They swivel here at the upper thigh. Knee bend goes all the way 90, although I will note, and I don't remember who originally pointed it out on Twitter, but I did see on Twitter that these leg pieces actually might be misassembled out of the box, depending on your copy. I don't know if it's on all copies or varies copy to copy, but basically what happened, it was at some point during construction, they flipped these two pieces, so the legs would not fully extend to be straight out. He had sort of a slight slant backwards to him. It's a super easy fix though. You just pull the screw out, you pop the peg or the pin out, so you pull the whole unit out and then just swap it with the other one. So yeah, those two pieces unfortunately did get swapped, at least on my copy and some others. So when you get it, check. The way to check is if this circle piece right here is towards the front of the knee, they're backwards. You want that circle to be on the back side of the knee. But yeah, so there is that. Slightly annoying. Obviously it shouldn't happen, and that's what QC is for, but oh well. Feet do hinge inward just like that, and the toes, I mean, the feet technically point downward, but they kind of crunch a little bit just due to transformation. So yeah, I mean, Megatron, he's got a standard Siege Megatron posing. It's nothing crazy, but it works. All right, an articulation here on Rat-Bat, fairly similar to Scourge as well. So head is on a ball joint, gets it going all the way around. Tilt going side to side works really, really well. Looks up that far, down that far. Arms can go all the way around, but you know, they get blocked by the cape stuff back there. They go out, up that far, which is pretty good. Swivel here at the elbow. Elbow bend goes slightly above 90. Wrists do swivel all the way around on here as well. Waist swivels not all the way around. It gets blocked by the back piece somewhere. Legs go forward that far. They go backward that far. They go out almost into a full split, but he can't really get down on it because his cape gets in the way, but that's still pretty good. I'll give that like an 8. That's like an 8 out of 10 on the split for sure. Legs do swivel here, at the upper thigh, and you risk popping it out of the joint apparently. Ooh. All right, so be careful on that swivel there. Apparently it pops out of the joint if you twist it too far, I guess. Knees do bend slightly over 90. And then, of course, down here on the feet, they do have a slight pivot as well with pointy toes if you would like. So, yeah, they're both fairly articulated. And, of course, if you've messed with either of these molds in any capacity before, you know what you're in for. So let's go ahead and get a couple comparisons here. I guess since Rat-Bat's here, we'll do a couple Rat-Bat comparisons first. All right, here's Rat-Bat with his mold mates. We got Alpha Trion and Scourge. And if I had to rank these three in terms of which ones I think are the best, I think it goes Rat-Bat, Alpha Trion, and Scourge. I think both of these are so much better than the original Scourge overall. Here is Senator Rat-Bat with his 2-pack wave mate. And Senator Accomplice, Senator Shockwave, whose review will be coming up shortly. All right, let's go ahead and get Megatron in here. All right, here is Minor Megatron with Decepticon Leader Megatron, so you can see the evolution of Megatron. And here's Megatron with his 2-pack wave mate and buddy, Orion Pax. All right, I think that's enough of robot modes, so let's go ahead and get these guys transformed up into their vehicle modes. We'll start with Megatron. Alright, so there's Megatron transformed up. Let's put him off to the side and transform Rat-Bat. Here we have both Minor Megatron and Senator Rat-Bat in their vehicle modes, and they're sitting clunkily and awkwardly on the round table here, but you can get a pretty solid overview for how they look. I think the boat mode, the space boat mode for Rat-Bat fits fine, nothing really crazy there. The tank for Megatron is slightly off just because, you know, he's a minor, and it still looks a lot like it's just a tank, except for instead of a gun, it's got a drill bit. So I wish they had tried to do maybe something a little bit different with it, but at the end of the day, I get it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the details on their alt modes. Alright, starting with Megatron here, we can see we get a little bit of red here for some headlights, I guess, maybe, with more of that construction caution tape line going on there. The drill bit here is now more prominent, obviously, as it is the front of the tank. We get just the extra bit here, connected with the handle of the pickaxe, and these were, of course, the arms, so they don't really do much. They just kind of hang out there. Obviously, the fist fold up, there's a little bit of molded detail there on the side to hide the fact that it's a fist. On this side, we can see all this sort of tank tready detail action going on here. A lot of this is unchanged from the siege mold. Down on the bottom, you can see obviously a little bit of tank treads. He's got wheels. You can see his face peeking out there and his chest. As for the wheels and his rolling, it's okay. Doesn't really go. It sounds more like he's sliding than anything, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Feet are sticking out here on the back, of course, just like they were in the original mold. Makes me wish that the feet were the same color as the rest of the tank here in this mode, just because, I don't know, they seem like they stick out a little bit when they're this color versus this color, but it's like that on the original mold too, so anyway. Yeah, and then the pickaxe part is just kind of sticking off to the side here. This is the official transformation. Something that I like to do instead is, I think I saw this on Twitter or somewhere originally, but if you take this piece, you take the tank or the drill bit piece and the pickaxe piece, I mean, you could just keep all of it on there like this and slap it on there like that. I mean, you could go for that. I honestly don't mind that. It makes the drill bit a little bit longer, so it's actually reaching up ahead of him, but kind of what I like to do instead is, instead of combining the whole thing, you put the drill bit here on the front like that. Then if you rotate the forearm piece just ever so slightly, come on, focus, there we go, you can get the 5mm port there sticking up at the top, and then you can put that on there as sort of a little viewfinder or, you know, what have you. But I think the look of the drill bit combined with the pickaxe here just is for a cooler look, honestly, in my opinion, and it's better than the pickaxe just sitting off to the side here. So yeah, that's going to be about it for Megatron's tank mode. I mean, again, if you have the Siege or any of the other remolds of Megatron, you kind of know what you're getting into with this tank mode. I should mention here, obviously, it does swivel side to side, does not go up and down or anything, but yep, that's Megatron. Let's check out Rat-Bat. All right, and here is Rat-Bat in his space boat mode. This is very, very unchanged when you look at it compared to like the original Scourge mold. So again, there's just a little bit of detail of like little molded detail here on the front. It's all done now up in purple and black. A little bit of black here, a little bit of molded detail here. And something new though, I do like the way that this piece replicates how his chest looked with the little gold and the blue. Here's the top of his head, the little crest obviously resting up there. He of course has the thrusters chilling out on the back here as well. A little bit of line paneling going on here on the back and the sides, nothing crazy. The sides here, same thing, line paneling. Obviously here's a 5mm port where the gun can be stored here on the side. And if we look on the bottom, yeah, he's just kind of folded up there, just hanging. You can see his fists just barely. These are the legs, obviously, and the wings fold up to form the bottom. So nothing really crazy going on, but I think it looks really nice in these colors. I do really, really enjoy how this space boat mode looks here with these colors. So let's go ahead and check out some comparisons. All right, here is the space boat crew, and you can see how just very the same they all kind of are here in the vehicle modes. Nothing really changes about these vehicle modes except for this little piece here on the front. You can see that is the only spot with differences. Obviously, if you look at Alpha Trion versus the Scourge ones, you'll see that the difference lies here in the way the wings are, but that's, you know, due to how they look in the robot mode as well. But here, straight up in vehicle mode, they're all basically the exact same. And here he is with Senator Shockwave. All right, enough Rat-Bat. Megatron's turn. All right, here is Minor Megatron with the original Siege Megatron in his tank mode. Again, you can kind of see how a lot of the same it is, although I think this color scheme just works so well. I think it looks very, very nice. And again, you can see how this is basically just a tank with a different center here on the front, obviously. And this works very well as a tank. As a drill tank, kind of, but yeah. You can see there how very similar they are. And of course, here he is with Orion Pax. All right, so that's gonna about do it for my closer look at the Rise of Tyranny 2-pack. So let's go ahead and mine our way back up to me for my final rat thoughts. All right, so what are my final thoughts on the Rise of Tyranny 2-pack? Well, I think they're pretty solid. I think they're really great retools of already existing figures that I think for the most part, I mean, we've seen the Siege mold so many times. I think this might be its best use. I think just the head sculpt and the deco came out very, very well on it. And I've never been the biggest fan of the Scourge mold, but I think it works very, very well for Rat-Bat. Plus, that head sculpt is just absolutely killer. And I think that if you're getting the comic universe stuff and the IDW stuff that they're putting out in Legacy, you'll probably want to grab these. Otherwise, you can probably pass, even though I do think they are great resculpts. And I do want to note, if you order them off of Amazon, you're going to get the other set that it's listed as. Amazon somehow switched up the product codes, so if you're ordering the Shockwave and Orion Pack set for $70, you're going to get this one delivered to your house. Or if you're trying to order Megatron and Rat-Bat for $54.99, you're going to get Shockwave and Orion Packs. Pretty big glaring issue on Amazon's part, but if you get them on Pulse, they'll be the correct sets. And I definitely think that this set is 100% worth it. Alright, you guys, that's going to do it for my full review of the Amazon exclusive Rise of Tyranny 2-pack featuring Minor Megatron and Senator Rat-Bat. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts on this set and the Humble Origins 2-pack, which will be coming soon. My review of it will be coming soon as well. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts on this pre-war Cybertron Amazon capsule that we've got going on this year for Legacy Evolution. And guys, without further ado, that is the end of another episode of deceptibot9 Reviews. Thank you as always, for tuning in and making it all the way to the end. I do really, truly appreciate it. Guys, I've been your host, deceptibot9. Thank you, as always, for joining me, and I will see you guys later.